Next thing I want to go over is a dead angle. So a dead angle costs 50% meter, and it's done by inputting any 2 attacks and forward. So you hit forward plus any 2 attacks, but you have to be in block stun. It's only done while in block stun. What will happen is your character will perform an invincible attack and just basically say get off me and hit the opponent away for 50% meter. I'd say this is pretty important, but a lot of people will forget to use it. Like I said, at the end of the video, I'll put everything together and kind of put everything in a real match perspective to kind of show you exactly what's important and what you should be doing. This can be pretty easy to forget, but it is very, very, very helpful when you're getting smothered. You know, you're blocking a lot, your risk gauge is going up, it's flashing purple, and you're panicking. It could be an option to just be like, all right, I'm not. Like, if somebody's going to put you in a situation where you know you're going to have to eat some kind of a high-low mix-up, like, say Kai is mixing it up between going low, or overhead, right? Say Kai's doing something like that to me and I'm like, I don't want to guess, I'm too scared, he's just like, get off me, right? That's dead angle. It costs 50% meter to do it, just hit forward and any 2 attack buttons. I had to have it hit 3, I don't know why, but it works anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll go over burst first because it's a little bit simpler. So it's essentially your combo breaker. Lots of fighting games have this, but if I record Kai hitting me, at any time during that, see on the first hit, I bursted it, get off me. I don't have my burst anymore, so you gotta wait for it to come back. It's gonna take some time to come back, as you can see it going up steadily over time. Not having your burst can be dangerous, because if you get hit with something really, really damaging, it's gonna hurt pretty bad. See, Kai could prevent all that damage because he has his burst, but if you don't, then he can't prevent all of that damage, right? Now with bursts, they can be baited, which is like the funnest shit in this game. It is so fucking cool and satisfying when you bait someone's burst. There's a few ways to do it, but bursts, while they're invulnerable to strike attacks, which is why they just completely become invulnerable and hit you, they are not invulnerable to throws. So you can throw people out of their bursts. So with normal attacks in this game, some of them are actually jump cancelable, which means when they hit, not only do you have an option of gatling them or canceling them into another normal that's next in the chain, but you can cancel that normal into a jump, such as a forward jump, or jumping straight up, or jumping back. This is important for a couple reasons. It's mostly important for combos, so like off of Soul's command grab, you can hit them with a crouching heavy, and then I can jump up into the air, because crouching heavy is jump cancelable. Now, not every normal is jump cancelable, so you have to test with your character. Lots of Souls are, but a lot of his crouching ones are not. You can see they hit, and then he jumps afterwards. Hit, jump afterwards. This is him hitting and then canceling into a jump. This normally does 2 hits, but he can cancel at any time. See? Whereas this, that one's jump cancelable too. See? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because, let's say my opponent, you can control the dummy on what hit they burst. So I'll make him burst on, I think it should be, let me hit system. Yeah, so see how he burst right there? So you could bait it by throwing them out of it. Oops, keep missing it. Take some practice. See? Now he lost his burst and it threw him out of it completely. Bursts can also be blocked too. So if you do a move that's not really committing that much, like a punch, right? Like say I just do punch, 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 and now he's punishable at the end of it. He could not block that punish there. See? And I punish it with a super. So those are pretty much the 2 ways. I mean, there's 3 ways essentially. So you either do a move that recovers so fast the burst doesn't start up in enough time to punish it. Like I recovered from the punch in time. That's one way. Or you throw them out of it. I tried to see, I jump canceled that normal. See? Second way is you throw them out of it. Now this is, you're not always gonna be able to do this because, like, let's say I hit him from over here, I can't jump to him close enough to throw him. So you're not always gonna have that option, but what you can do is you can jump cancel into an air block though. So you could do, see, you jump into it and block it. So all I'm doing is just jump canceling my normal and blocking it. Now this is gonna have to be a hard read a lot of the time because it's gonna be hard to react. See? So jump canceling normals is super important. It's important for combos, and it's like for example, if I get an anti-air, so say if Kai jumps at me and I anti-air him, I can jump cancel it into my normals, and then all I'm doing is just gatling my normals in the air into a special move. That's it. So I jump cancel into a block. So yeah, and you don't have to get that right away, but just knowing that it exists is important. So it's just all about practice. So that's cool. Yeah, you don't really need to worry about all that. So yeah, what I'm doing is just kind of teaching you as much as I can about the game, and then we'll build on we'll recap the most important things you need to take away. And there's two types of bursts. It sounds really confusing after everything I've explained, but it's really not. So there's gold burst, and then there is blue burst. So blue burst just means that you bursted while you were getting hit or while blocking, like when your back is to the wall. You can burst while blocking, and let's see, everything. I'll make him attack me. Oop. Alright, go ahead, Kai. So yeah, blue burst is just that. Now what a gold burst is a gold burst is when you burst in neutral, meaning that you bursted, you weren't getting hit, you weren't guarding or anything, you just did it. Now because bursts are strike invulnerable, you could still throw them out of this one, but because bursts are strike invulnerable, you could blow through an opponent's attack. It's not really recommended to use it this way, but if you hit someone with a gold burst, you gain 100% tension. You get full meter no matter how much meter you had. So if I put this at 0, so you can see, you'll see my meter will fill up just for hitting him with this. Oh, I forgot he set the block. And you'll also notice that the burst gauge has changed from being blue to orange, and I'll explain that in a bit. Turn block off. So if I hit him with that, I gain full meter, right? Now you'll see the burst gauge is back to blue. Sounds confusing, but it's really not. So all it is the reason why the burst gauge is changing colors is different from what I was just explaining. It has nothing to do with that. If your tension gauge is over 50%, your burst gauge will change to the blue color. So right now my tension's at 0, so you'll see it's at orange. But if I put my tension gauge to bear with me. All right, come on. 50. Let's put it at 49 just to make a point. It's about sending a message. Okay, so boop, walked over a little bit, now it's blue. So the reason why that happens is because your burst still works as normal. You have gold burst, you have the blue burst or whatever, right? Like all that's the same regardless of whether the burst is orange or blue. The only thing the blue is talking about is just that with 50% meter, that's how you do your supers. So this is Soul's super, it costs 50% meter, right? Nothing special. But if you do the super with the dust button, the super is done doing half circle back, forward heavy slash, right? But if you do it with the dust button, you'll actually spend your burst to make your super do more damage. Look how much fucking damage that does. Shit fucking hurts. So this is not something you're commonly gonna use. It also will give your super additional properties too. Sometimes it might make your super invulnerable when it wasn't. Luckily, Soul's already is naturally invulnerable, so it doesn't give him that property. Just makes him do more damage. But sometimes the burst version of a character's super will make the character do. It'll give them like excess properties, like maybe it might cause a wall bounce now, or maybe it might invul them. Again, every character is unique, so you just have to learn what it does with your character. But this is not one of the key things that I would point out is super important for you to learn. You have to understand the distinction between I'm explaining it to you so you know that it exists, and I'm explaining it to you because it's something that you need to get down when you're first learning about it. So this is just so you know, you understand what you're looking at. So that's all. Otherwise, burst still works the same. Just use it for as a get off me tool. If you're getting hit with a really heavy combo, like if somebody hits you with like a jab or something like that, look how much damage that did. That's not that much. You're not really gonna burst that. But if you get hit with something really hard, because depending on what you get hit with first in Guilty Gear will determine how much damage the combo does. I mean, look at something like this. Not that much, but if I hit you with like this, look how slow this move is. It hits hard. Look at this. Oops, I missed the combo. That's a lot of damage, and then you still have to eat a mix-up when you're getting up. You want to burst stuff like that. So just use it as like a get-off-me tool. If it gets baited, it gets baited, but baiting it is a little bit hard, and it's really, really fucking hype. So if somebody baits it, oh fucking well, but you got to make them work for it. Okay, so Roman canceling. This is one of the coolest mechanics in Guilty Gear, and this is what makes the game so much fun. So there's three. So essentially, what is Roman canceling? So Roman canceling essentially allows you to cancel what it is that you're doing. So, like, you can see me doing an attack. Oh, you can't cancel that. I'll get to that later. Right? So this is his ride stat move where he jumps off the wall. You can cancel it, and you'll actually still keep the momentum. Now there's three different types. There's a yellow Roman cancel, abbreviated as YRC, red Roman cancel for RRC, and purple Roman cancel for PRC. Now, yellow Roman cancel costs 25% meter. Let me turn meter tension gauge off, so this is important for you to see. I'll gold burst to get my meter, so you can see. So see, you can just do it in place, but that doesn't really do anything. But what yellow Roman cancel is for is it's for canceling the startup of your attack. So you can see I could do Soul's Gunflame, right? And when I do it, you can see me mashing buttons. This is as quick as I can hit a button. This is me trying to run over behind it. I can't really follow up, right? But with YRC, I can pretty much run with the fire, right? I can throw it out and then like attack with it. Now what a red Roman cancel is a red Roman cancel is when you Roman cancel while your opponent is being hit or blocking, right? It costs 50% meter, and it can be used to extend combos and block strings. So for example, Soul can cancel his heavy slash into core circle forward K or 236K for using the number pad notation. So for like inputs like fireballs and stuff like that, people will abbreviate it as down, forward, forward as 236. So 236K. It doesn't combo, but with red Roman cancel, it will. And this is because Roman cancel also slows down your opponent. So you can see when I hit him, he recovers in time, but when I Roman cancel it, look how slow he's reeling back. So Roman cancels, they cancel moves out, and they also slow your opponent down. So like for example, if I throw him, I can red Roman cancel it when he gets hit, and look how slow he's falling compared to normal. So it's not just that it cancels the move that you do, but it also slows your opponent down, which makes a huge difference. So you can, this is fast, I can hit a button after this throw. But if I Roman cancel, then you can get all that. Now with purple Roman canceling is it's canceling the recovery, and it's pretty bad. Purple Roman canceling is essentially the oops Roman cancel. It's the I fucked up Roman cancel. It's the my B Roman cancel. So so yellow is before your move has actually like connected, right? That's what yellow is. Red is it is connecting, and then purple is like I basically whiffed something. So it's like if you whiff something and you don't want to get punished for it anymore, you spend, and purple and red both cost 50%. So like, see, I use purple. So purple is used typically to save yourself from being punished because you made a mistake. So like if I whiff a button and he's gonna punish it, you can purple roaming cancel, which will prevent you from being punished. And then like I said, you can use it on people in block strings as well. So because normally if I hit someone with this heavy slash, I can't, like, my pressure's over. But with red roaming cancel, now he still can't press anything and he has to keep taking my pressure, and then I throw him. Boom. Right? So that's roaming canceling, and you'll see lots of different uses for your different characters in roaming canceling. There's a lot of really creative stuff you can do. Like, for example, with Soul, like, there's some cheeky stuff you can do. This is where the game gets really, really fun. And it's not, like, stressful. It's just really cool. Like, Soul has this Fafnir. So if he basically dashes at you and does a punch. And if someone sees this move, they're gonna block because they don't want to get hit by it, right? But you could do like a yellow roaming cancel and throw them. It's not gonna work every time, but it just shows how creative you can get. And a lot of times using roaming cancels, you'll keep your momentum. Like this move sends Soul backwards, right? If you yellow roaming cancel it, he keeps flying. So I'm not saying that you should do this, but it just shows like how cool this is. Where the game gets really fun, is with stuff like this. Oh, I got purple because I was canceling the recovery. Yeah, so you could do stuff like this and then cover both sides, you know? And that's when the game gets really, really crazy, when you throw someone and it's really easy to combo off of it, you know? You can pretty much do whatever you want. You can just go nuts, just get really creative with it. And to input the roaming cancel, it's just input by just hitting 3 attack buttons, except for dust. Guilty Gear also has something called the clash system. So essentially if 2 normal attacks hit at the same time, in a lot of other fighting games they have what's called a trade, which means that both characters will hit each other. Both characters will like hit each other and reel back. But in Guilty Gear, what happens is that the buttons clash, so they don't hit each other. You'll see in a sec here. The way a clash works is the game will kind of pause and you'll see both attacks hit at the same time. When a clash occurs, you can cancel into whatever you want, even if it's outside the hierarchy of normal. So I can cancel, see how I canceled that into a punch? Now it doesn't really help me at this distance, but say we clashed with, I don't know, say we both somehow clashed with slashes right here, right? Now your brain would think, oh, you know, I meant to hit a slash right here, right? We both clashed. Your brain would think to go to heavy slash, but because you both clashed, say you both clashed and the game paused right here, you'd want to go into a jab. Because normally you can't Gatling or chain into a jab, but because you clash, the game will allow you to do so. And then if your opponent isn't quick thinking, they'll lose. And you could also just go into an uppercut too. If you have some kind of invincible move, if you clash, you could go into like a super or something. And the same thing happens when it goes into danger time. The same rules still apply, it just gives you way more time to figure it out. I'll go ahead and put forced to danger time on, so that way forced. So when they clash, it's gonna go into danger time, and then you can cancel it whatever you want. And this causes a mortal counter to hit. So the entire time this time is on, every hit is a mortal counter, which a mortal counter is not something that can normally occur in the game. So there's a counter hit, as with any other game, which is when you get hit out of the startup of your move. Moves gain additional properties like more damage, etc., right? This game has that. But a mortal counter is something that only occurs in danger time. And essentially, it's like a counter hit on fucking steroids. If you get hit in danger time, it's gonna hurt. I mean, look how long they like pause for. Look at this. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, they take damage. Like, people get fucked up. It's something that randomly can occur when attacks clash. So when they do, you just want to be ready for it. What you can also do is you can cancel into faultless defense, even if you're in the middle of a move, kind of like an FD break that was explained earlier. You can actually, I'll just have to go back to the old method. What? So I'm holding faultless. See how he immediately starts blocking? So if you're scared, that can be a really, really safe option as well.